Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time, we're taking a look at hidden champions, companies you probably never even heard of,
That's right.
but they dominate in their global niche markets. Our guide for this deep dive is Hidden Champions of the 21st Century.
By Herman Simon.
Exactly, Herman Simon. He spent over 20 years studying these companies, so...
He's the expert.
Yeah, so let's get into it. One of the things that makes these companies so interesting is that they're not like big corporations that are constantly
In the news.
Yeah, they're kind of like...
They fly under the radar.
Exactly. They're hidden.
So what are we even talking about here? Like, what is a hidden champion?
They're typically mid-sized, often family-owned businesses that hold the top spot,
Okay.
or at least top 3, in their specific global market niche.
So not my local coffee shop.
Right. More like Bobcat.
What cat?
You know, those compact construction vehicles you see everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
They're the world leader in that market.
Huh.
And get this, the biggest employer in North Dakota. See, this is why I love these deep dives. Mind blown. Give me another one.
All right, how about Gallagher?
Gallagher.
They're the world leader in electric fences,
Okay.
based in New Zealand.
New Zealand. What?
Apparently, it's the ideal testing ground because they have like 3.3 million people,
Oh, okay.
but 70 million sheep,
So like a giant electric fence laboratory.
pretty much.
Okay. So these companies, it seems like they're all over the map.
They are. Simon's database has over 2,000 hidden champions, and they're everywhere, from Germany to Brazil to even the U.S.
And speaking of Germany, did you know that they're consistently the top exporter globally?
Yeah, they're a powerhouse.
I had no idea.
And over 1,000 of these hidden champions are actually based in German-speaking countries.
So maybe there's a connection there. Okay, so they're under the radar, they're global, and they seem to cluster in certain regions. But what about their success? Like, what's their secret sauce?
Well, Simon's research shows these companies average 11.6% annual growth over a decade,
Wow.
doubling in size every 6.3 years.
That's huge. So how are they doing it? Are they constantly buying other companies or...
Not really. It's more about strategic expansion. They do something called soft diversification.
Soft diversification. What is that?
Think of it this way. Let's say there's a company that's amazing at making high-performance fabrics for sportswear.
Okay.
They decide to branch out. Instead of making something totally different, they use their knowledge of materials to make fabrics for medical devices, so leveraging expertise.
Gotcha. So they're focused, but they're not afraid to branch out strategically. Do we have any examples?
Absolutely. Leone, the global leader in cable systems for cars,
Okay.
successfully expanded, applying their cable tech to other applications.
Makes sense.
Then there's Enercon, global leader in wind power, and Chronomit, a metal recycling giant. All 3 hidden champions thriving in new markets.
So growth is definitely part of their DNA. But is it always the ultimate goal?
You know, that's a really good question. And surprisingly, no, not always. Some hidden champions actually prioritize stability over growth. They choose to limit their growth intentionally.
Really?
Yeah, think about Clays.
Please.
Yeah, the world-renowned organ builder. They could grow much faster, but they deliberately limit production
Oh, okay.
to keep a stable workforce and maintain that quality.
That's really interesting. They're choosing to stay true to their craft instead of chasing profits.
Hmm.
But it does seem like most hidden champions share a certain ambition, like this drive to be the best.
Absolutely. What's fascinating is this obsession with market leadership. You know, it's not just about making money, it's about being the absolute best. It's almost like it's a part of their identity.
So are they walking around chanting market leader all day?
Uh-huh. Well, maybe not that intense,
Okay.
but it's definitely a driving force. Simon quotes CEOs in his book saying things like, "The identity of our enterprise is defined by our leading position on the world market."
Wow.
And we are the leading edge in the gelatin market.
Okay, so that's some serious dedication. But how do they get there? Is it just like ruthless competition?
Not necessarily. Hidden champions tend to focus on dominating a very specific, narrow market.
Okay.
It's not about being everything to everyone. It's about being the expert in their particular niche.
So they become like the ruler of a very specific kingdom.
Yeah, I like that. It's like being a market owner.
Market owner. Okay. Give me some examples of these market owners. What kind of niches are we talking about?
Well, there's the Midec Group. They specialize in noise reduction for combustion engines.
Okay, that is niche.
Right. Then there's August Friedberg, who makes specialized screws for wind energy.
So even something as simple as a screw can be a niche market.
Exactly. And this intense focus can lead to incredible success. For example, Cargo Bowl.
Cargo bowl.
Yeah. A company that produces only 4 types of trailers is aiming to double its capacity to 80,000 units.
Wow. Okay, so intense focus, expertise, and market domination. But these companies are also global, right? So how do they manage that with such specific products?
Well, that's what makes it so interesting. Globalization is absolutely essential for these companies,
Okay.
even the small ones. They often operate in over 100 countries, which opens up a huge amount of growth potential, even if they're focused on a narrow product.
So they're thinking big from the start.
Often, yeah.
Yeah.
Simon calls some of these CEOs old troopers.
The old troopers.
Yeah, because they personally went out to new markets to test their products.
Wow.
Like he gives an example of the founder of Brita water filters.
Right. Okay.
Personally set up a table in a drugstore in Salt Lake City to see how his product would fare.
No way. That's amazing. So they're global, they're focused, they're willing to
Yeah.
get their hands dirty. What else sets them apart?
Another big one is their customer relationships.
Okay.
They build incredibly close relationships with their clients, often through direct sales and constant interaction. It's not about being a faceless corporation. It's about actually building a partnership.
So they're prioritizing relationships over transactions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And performance over low prices. They often actually charge a price premium.
Well, yeah, if you're the best, people are willing to pay for it. But managing those relationships across the globe must be pretty challenging, right?
Oh, absolutely. Managing those complex customer networks is a real skill. Companies like Zoomtobel, the lighting company, and Hettich, the furniture fittings company, are great examples of doing this well.
It's pretty amazing how these companies can be so specialized but operate on such a large scale. So we're kind of starting to piece together this blueprint for success here. Global mindset, laser focus, and a commitment to strong customer relationships. What else can we learn from these hidden champions?
Well, their approach to innovation is fascinating. Many hidden champions invest heavily in research and development,
Okay.
often surpassing levels of much larger companies.
So they're not just resting on their laurels, they're constantly pushing the boundaries.
Right. And it's not always about big, splashy breakthroughs. Often, their innovations come from making small improvements over time.
Like that cousin philosophy, always improving. But isn't that difficult when you have customers all over the world? How do they keep up with everyone's needs?
That's where those close customer relationships come in. They're constantly interacting with their clients, getting feedback and insights on what works and what doesn't.
So it's not just innovating in a vacuum, it's collaborating with their customers to come up with solutions.
Exactly. It's a constant cycle of improvement.
You have any specific examples of companies that are doing this really well?
Assist Pharma is a great example.
Like Istapharma.
Yeah. They revolutionized medication packaging to reduce errors, which is obviously super critical in healthcare.
Makes sense.
And Bosch Power Tools introduced these really clever shop-in-shop concepts
Oh, okay.
in DIY stores, which significantly boosted their sales.
Smart. Speaking of competition, what's the landscape like for hidden champions? Like, who are they up against?
Typically, they operate in oligopolistic markets.
Oligopolistic?
It just means they're facing a small number of global competitors.
Oh,
So it's more like a strategic chess match than a free-for-all brawl.
gotcha.
And remember, they compete on performance, not price.
Right.
They want market leadership through superior quality, service, and increasingly, something called systems integration.
Okay, systems integration. Break that down for me.
Think of it like this. You need a new piece of equipment for your business. Instead of just selling you the equipment, a company that excels at systems integration will also provide the training, maintenance, and software to make sure it works seamlessly with your existing systems.
Oh, so it's like a complete solution, not just a product.
Exactly.
Makes sense. But I imagine these companies face some challenges too. What are some of the biggest hurdles for them?
One constant challenge is low-cost competitors.
Yeah.
Companies that can produce similar products at a lower price. So hidden champions have to constantly find ways to stay competitive while maintaining their high standards.
So how do they walk that tightrope?
Different approaches. Companies like SICK, a leader in sensor technology, have adapted by simplifying some of their products and manufacturing in China to compete in the lower price segment. It's a constant balancing act.
Right. Speaking of adapting, what about location? Does it matter where these hidden champions are based?
It's fascinating, actually. 2/3 of hidden champions are based in rural areas.
Really? I would have thought they'd all be clustered in big cities.
You'd think so, but it seems that being rooted in a community can create this really unique relationship between the company and its employees.
Huh.
which helps them succeed. It also plays into this idea of entrepreneurial clusters.
Oh, tell me more about that entrepreneurial cluster.
Imagine a small town with
Yeah.
one really successful company, like a hidden champion.
Okay.
That success inspires other entrepreneurs in the area, and you get this ripple effect of innovation and growth.
Like a mini Silicon Valley, but for specialized industries. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
So we've got location. What other interesting trends are you seeing?
Well, another common thread is this do-it-yourself mentality.
Okay.
They prefer to have as much control as possible.
So not big on outsourcing.
Not really. They believe that doing things in-house gives them tighter control over quality and flexibility.
Makes sense. Do you have any companies that really embody this DIY approach?
Oh, yeah. Caldaway, for example,
Mhm.
manufactures their own steel bathtubs.
Wow.
And the enamel mix for the coating. They believe that's key to their superior quality.
That's serious commitment.
And then there's O.C. Tanner, the employee recognition company.
Okay.
They maintain U.S. manufacturing for flexibility and speed, even though it might be cheaper to outsource.
So they're like, we're doing this right.
Exactly. And it all comes down to leadership. These are the people making those decisions and shaping the culture.
All right, let's talk about these leaders. What can we learn from the people at the helm of these hidden champions?
That's what we're going to dig into next. Leadership plays such a crucial role in the success of these companies. Remember, many of them are family-owned, and leadership continuity is highly valued.
So we're not talking about CEOs jumping ship every couple of years.
Nope. It's not uncommon for CEOs to stay at the helm for 20 years or more.
Wow.
This provides a ton of stability and that long-term vision.
That's pretty amazing, especially in today's world where everything moves so fast.
It is. And there's a growing trend of female leaders in hidden champions.
That's fantastic. So leadership continuity is obviously important, but it also raises the question of succession. How do these companies deal with passing the torch to the next generation?
That's a great question, and one we'll dive into next. It can be tricky, especially when you're dealing with a company that's been so shaped by its founder.
Right, because it's more than just a business, it's their legacy.
Exactly. And navigating that transition while maintaining the company's culture and values is a real challenge. We'll explore that in more detail next time.
This is getting juicy. I can't wait to hear more about these hidden champion leaders and how they manage that balance of tradition and innovation.
It's fascinating stuff. We'll be back soon to continue our exploration.
Looking forward to it. All right, so we've kind of established that hidden champions are led by some pretty remarkable people, right?
Yeah.
Guiding these companies to success, all while staying under the radar.
It's true.
It really makes you wonder what makes these leaders tick.
Yeah, what sets them apart from, the head honchos at a Fortune 500?
Well, Simon highlights a few key characteristics that really jumped out at me in the book.
Right. The first thing that comes to mind is that entrepreneurial mindset. That drive, that relentless drive to create something truly exceptional. It's not just a job for these people, it's a mission.
It's like building a legacy.
Exactly. And Simon describes them as single-minded, fearless, incredibly energetic.
So I'm picturing like a force of nature, someone who doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate image.
Yeah.
You want to hear about some specific examples?
Yeah, give me the inside scoop on these entrepreneurial titans.
All right, well, there's Reinhold Wirth. He took over his family business at just 19 years old.
19. Seriously, that's younger than most college students.
I know, right?
Wow.
And he built it into a global empire, the Wirth Group, a hidden champion in assembly products.
That's incredible. Talk about starting young. Anyone else?
Well, there's Reinhard Wirtgen. He started his company at 18. Wirtgen is now a world leader in road recycling machines.
Okay, so we're seeing a pattern here. These are people who are driven from a young age to build something amazing. But it's got to be more than just that ambition, right?
Right. These entrepreneurial traits are often deeply ingrained in the company culture and passed down.
So it's about creating an environment where leadership thrives.
Exactly. And that's where leadership styles come in, how these leaders guide their companies.
So what kind of leadership styles do we see in these hidden champions? Are we talking about like iron-fisted dictators or more collaborative approaches?
It's a little bit of a paradox, actually.
Oh, I love a good paradox.
So on the one hand, they can be quite authoritarian, especially when it comes to the company's core values and principles.
Okay.
But at the same time, they can be very participative when it comes to actually executing those ideas.
So it's like a strong hand on the wheel, but trust in the crew.
Exactly. They empower their teams to take ownership, contribute their ideas. So it's an interesting balance.
Yeah, you need that strong leadership to provide direction, but you also need to give your employees the freedom to innovate and take risks.
Exactly. Finding that balance seems to be key. But even with the best leadership, there are always challenges, right?
Absolutely, and I imagine succession planning has got to be a huge one for these hidden champions.
Oh, you're right on the money. Passing the torch to the next generation is a major hurdle for a lot of these companies.
Because these founders have poured so much of themselves into their companies, letting go can't be easy.
It's not, especially when they've been at the helm for like decades. Simon actually points out that the stronger the personality of the leader, the harder it is to let go.
So it's like a double-edged sword, that strong leadership, great for success, but maybe not so great when it's time to plan for the future.
Right. It's a tough balance between preserving the legacy, but also letting the next generation make their own mark.
So what are some of the traps that companies fall into with the succession planning? What should they be watching out for?
Well, the biggest mistake,
Hmm.
waiting too long to even start planning, thinking, I've got time, but then all of a sudden, it's retirement, and there's no clear successor.
Yikes. That sounds stressful.
It can be. Another big pitfall is not properly preparing the next generation for leadership. Keeping them at arm's length, not giving them real responsibility.
So it's not just about naming a successor, it's about actively mentoring and developing them.
That's right. And then there's the founder's ego to deal with.
Oh, yeah, right. Letting go of something you've built must be hard.
It can be very hard to relinquish that control, even when it's for the good of the company. Some might even try to undermine their successor.
Ooh, not good.
No, it's not. Creates a lot of uncertainty.
So what's the key then? How do they do this effectively?
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all, but a few key principles can help.
Okay, give me the highlights.
First off, start planning early. Don't wait to the last minute. Start identifying potential successors. Create a development plan.
Get the ball rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And involve the next generation in the business. Give them real responsibility. Let them make decisions. Experience those leadership challenges.
Throw them in the deep end, but with some floaties.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And lastly, the founder needs to be willing to let go. Easier said than done.
I can imagine.
But for the future of the company, they have to trust that next generation.
It's about recognizing that the success of the company isn't tied to one person, right? It's the culture, the values, that shared vision.
That's a great way to put it. And this emphasis on leadership, on building a strong culture, is one of the biggest takeaways from Simon's research.
That makes sense. It's about understanding that success is about a collective commitment to excellence.
Exactly. And that commitment to excellence is everywhere in these businesses, from their products to their relationships.
And that's what's so inspiring about them, right? It's not just about the growth or market dominance. It's about those values, that commitment to doing things right,
Right.
which is something we can all learn from, even if we're not running a global company.
Absolutely. Those strategies can apply to businesses of all sizes. What are some of those lessons you're taking away?
I think their focus is something to really admire. Remember that obsession with market leadership. It's about finding that niche where you excel, not trying to be everything to everyone.
Right. Become that market owner we talked about.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to think big. That global mindset is essential.
And that customer focus, so important. Building those strong relationships.
You got it. Deliver exceptional performance.
Become a partner.
Yep. And never stop innovating.
Always looking for ways to improve.
Right. Big or small, keep innovating to stay ahead. Oh, and don't forget about location.
Ah, right. That sense of community.
Can be a real advantage.
And what about that do-it-yourself mentality?
Powerful stuff. Owning the process ensures quality and flexibility.
Confidence in your capabilities.
And in the end, it all comes down to leadership. Finding those right people to steer the ship.
Creating a culture of leadership that's going to last.
Yeah, and realizing that building a successful company is about more than just products and profits.
It's about the people, the values, the driving force.
It's about building something that's more than just a business. It's a community, a family even.
I love that. It's so inspiring to see these companies achieve success but still stay true to those values.
It is. It's a great reminder that no matter what your goals are, we can all learn from them.
So take a page from their playbook. Embrace those principles. Who knows, maybe you'll discover the hidden champion within.
Or uncover one hiding right under your nose.
Ooh, good point. There's a whole world out there. We've covered so much ground, their global reach, customer relationships, innovation, leadership styles.
Oh.
But there's one more big question we need to tackle.
Okay, I'm listening. What is it?
Can a large corporation really replicate the hidden champion model?
Ah, yes, that is the big question.
Yeah.
Can a giant company capture that same agility and focus?
It's a tough challenge, you know? Those hidden champions, they thrive on being able to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
They have those deep customer relationships, a culture of innovation, all things that are harder when you're a massive organization.
It's like trying to steer a cruise ship. Very slow.
Exactly. But we're seeing some big companies try to become more nimble.
Yeah,
They're spinning off divisions, streamlining, trying to get back to those core strengths.
right, like Siemens.
Siemens.
Yeah, they've been restructuring, getting rid of those non-core parts, and focusing on growth areas, trying to bring back some of that entrepreneurial energy.
It's like they're trying to break themselves down into smaller units, each with its own focus.
Exactly. They're recognizing that this kind of focus can lead to more innovation, faster growth.
Because when you're laser focused on a market, you can really understand what those customers need. But is it enough?
That's the million-dollar question. Can they really recapture that entrepreneurial culture, that deep commitment to a niche? That's where it gets hard.
It's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. There's a certain magic to hidden champions, a combination of things that's hard to just replicate.
Exactly. Don't forget, a lot of these companies are family-owned.
Oh, right.
That brings its own unique values and that long-term perspective that you don't always find in public companies.
Yeah, when it's your legacy, you're going to think long term.
Right. But even if big corporations don't become hidden champions, there's still so much to learn from them.
I agree. There are so many valuable insights that we can apply no matter what size the business is. That customer-centric approach, that commitment to innovation, building strong leadership.
Yeah, and becoming a market owner.
Find your niche, become the expert. These are all principles that can make any company thrive. That's what I think is so exciting about this topic. It's not just admiring them from afar, it's about learning and applying those lessons to our businesses, our careers, even our lives.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that building a successful company is about more than just the bottom line.
Right. It's about the people, the values, the heart.
It's about building something that matters.
Yeah.
So inspiring to see these companies achieving so much while staying true to themselves.
It really is.
So as we wrap up, I want to encourage everyone listening to keep exploring this. Look around you in your industry, your community.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by the hidden champions you find, thriving in their specialized fields.
And the big takeaway, it's not about the size, it's about that commitment to excellence, to innovation, and serving those customers.
Beautifully said. So keep those principles in mind, keep searching, and who knows, maybe you'll find the hidden champion within.
Yeah, you never know.
Or maybe you'll uncover one hiding right under your nose.
You never know. Until next time, happy exploring. All right. So we're back for the final part of our Hidden Champions deep dive. And we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Global reach, customer relationships, innovation, leadership. We left off with a big question, though.
We did.
Can a big company, like a huge company,
Right.
ever really truly replicate the hidden champion model? It makes you think.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, can a company that's already a giant, can they capture that some spirit, that agility, that focus?
It's hard, right? Because these hidden champions, they thrive on being able to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
They have those deep customer relationships.
Yeah.
And that culture of innovation, all things that, when you're massive,
It's hard.
it's a lot harder.
It's like turning a cruise ship, it takes forever.
Exactly. But we are seeing some of these larger corporations trying
We are.
to become more nimble and focused.
They're spinning off divisions, right?
Yeah.
Streamlining operations, trying to get back to their core, like Siemens.
Siemens, yeah.
They've been restructuring, right?
Yeah.
Getting rid of non-core parts of their business, focusing on those growth areas.
Trying to recapture that energy,
Yeah.
that entrepreneurial spirit.
It's almost like they're trying to break themselves down into smaller units.
Right.
Each one having that distinct focus, its own mission.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
there's this recognition that a focused approach
Yeah.
leads to faster growth, more innovation.
It makes sense. When you're laser focused, you really get to know those customers.
Yeah.
But is that enough?
That is the big question. Can they truly capture that entrepreneurial culture, that deep commitment to a niche?
It's tricky.
That's the really hard part.
It's like trying to bottle lightning.
Yeah.
There's that magic to hidden champions that is hard to replicate.
It is, and a lot of them, remember, are family businesses,
Right.
which brings a whole other set of values, that long-term perspective you don't always see in public companies.
Absolutely. When
Yeah,
the company's your legacy, you're going to make different decisions.
for sure. But even if big companies never fully become hidden champions, there's still so much to learn.
There is so many valuable insights that we can use no matter what size our business is.
Absolutely.
We've talked about the customer-centric approach, innovation, leadership.
Becoming a market owner,
Yeah, find your niche, right? Be the expert.
it can help any company.
Yeah, it really can.
That's what I love about this topic. It's not just admiring these companies.
Yeah.
It's about learning and applying
Hmm.
to our businesses, our careers, even our lives.
So true. I think what it comes down to is that building a successful company
Yeah.
is about more than just the bottom line. It's about the people.
Yeah, the values, the heart
Building something that matters.
makes a difference.
It's inspiring to see these companies do so well
Yeah,
while staying true to themselves.
absolutely. So, as we wrap up here, I want to encourage everyone to keep exploring this world. Look around in your industry, in your community.
You might be surprised.
Yeah, you might be surprised at what you find.
There are hidden champions everywhere.
And the biggest takeaway is not about the size, it's about the commitment. The commitment to excellence, the passion for innovating and serving your customers.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So keep those principles in mind, keep searching, and who knows, maybe you'll uncover that hidden champion inside yourself.
That's right.
Or maybe you'll find one right under your nose. So, until next time, everyone,
Keep exploring.
happy exploring.